Well, it's that time again. It is time for another fun-filled edition of This Is Not My Soundboard. Yes, it's our newest show, the This Is Not My Soundboard show. But it's also known as
Insert Title Here.
And I'm your host, Johnny Gators. And I'm also your other host, Johnny Gators. But I didn't even think I was doing a show today because I sent an email out to Brian Blues and he goes, "Yep, no, busy today, doing stuff, that is not doing a show. He's got non-show stuff to do today." And so I sent a tweet out, "Hey, Venison, you around?" And no reply for like a whole 5 minutes. And so I was like, all right, well, holiday weekend, whatever. I did a show yesterday. All right, let's wrap this up. But then all of a sudden, Venison goes with a whole 2 minutes to spare. "No, I'm here. I'm like, all right, great, let's go. Let me just restart everything. So this is where all of Venison's computers fail, and he leaves me out here. And so if there's no Venison by 8:15, show's ending. Plain simple. Don't do solo. I am just killing time before a co-host shows up. That's what's going on here. So yeah, we did kind of have a telethon this weekend. Whether it was a real telethon or a bit, or who's to say what's real and what's a bit? But we all had fun, and if you listened, you probably had fun too. So it was all good. It was fun to connect in and do a show again with the Dark Elf, and I still talk to Emily quite regularly, but we haven't done a show together in some time. So yeah, that was a fun experience. It also kind of makes me, miss my old show. But I also kind of recognize that, that was a special occasion, and that's part of why it was special. Dark Elf's kind of busy with his thing, and, Emily's got, 3 kids that she's running after. It's too bad that we can't all get together every week like we used to. But anyways, Venison, however, has got nothing but free time. And he spends all of that time waiting until 2 minutes before a show to restart his computer. So hopefully he's here soon. And in the meantime, you know what we could do? We can try to leave another, see if we can get Seth to pick up his phone. So let's, because that's still here on the Skype. Let's see if we actually get him to pick up. And phone's ringing. Yeah, maybe this gives him a chance to kind of make up for missing yesterday's show. It's still ringing. We're probably going to get voicemail again.
This is Seth's phone. Please leave your message now.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Don't forget your penis cream.
There we go. I didn't have anything good to say, so I just found the first funny sound effect that looked good to me. Okay. So, well, this has been another fun-filled edition of
Insert Title Here.
So, thank you everyone for listening. And we got Warhawk on the line.
Now you know how it's like to do a solo show.
Oh, I've known what it's like. See, I'm well acquainted with solo shows, which is why I don't do them unless I am tricked into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the telethon was definitely fun, especially for me last night since all shit broke down. Like I forgot I muted my virtual mixer. The OBS broadcasting software was dropping frames like a mother effer. Had trouble with Team Talk, and Psycho Steve had trouble with Team Talk. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. You know what? It was funny. I thought for sure I was going to have nothing but technical problems because not only was I doing the amateur hour, I was doing old school amateur hour, which, I mean, if you listen to like the first year or 2 years worth of shows, every week it was a game of, well, what's going to go wrong this week? It became the running bit of every week was a weekly show of technical problems. It sounds like all my technical problems got shifted to a later time slot. So thank you for taking those all off my hands for me.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Well, I knew that I was going to have problems, especially since this was my first telethon, but I did not know that it was going to be that bad. But hey, I stuck to it, or did my best last night, and I tried again this morning, and everything went fine.
Well, that's good. Of course, it goes fine after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that how it always is? I go back and listen to files, and it's great fun to listen to. Like there was 1 week that I was just livid, screaming piss because I'm setting up for the show, and I at some point I got to a point where I was having too many technical problems because I was trying to do too much on one machine. Because I didn't use Skype for the first certain number of months on the show. I just used the 877 number, run through the worst sounding phone patch in the history of No Holds Barred Radio. And so finally when I started adding Skype into the mix and figured out how to kind of get that into the rig, I think that's when I started using something that was sort of like a mixer. It was bogging down my computer and causing things to crash and causing buffering. And so I finally figured out, well, I should set up 2 machines. And so I brought home, I pieced together my own Frankendell from stuff at work as a second machine. But I also had a second machine that I had bought off of eBay that I was going to try to build into a gaming machine for emulators. And for a while I was using that as a second machine, and then I stopped using that and I put together a Frankendell for a second machine. Well, the Frankendell was giving me problems, and I was like, well, that's okay, because I have the secondary machine that I was going to try to set up emulators on over there. I haven't touched it since the last time I used it to stream a show. So I should be able to just plug it in, hit the power button, boot right up, and all my settings will be there. Everything will connect in. Everything will work just as it's supposed to. Because what's the chances of 2 broadcast machines failing in the same day? Well, I think you can see where this story is going. I booted up the machine, and the Windows Start sound was changed to... and that was the first sign something was going to go wrong. And that was the day that that machine met its maker, because at some point after the Frankendell dying on me, this machine won't even boot up properly. I was at the point that I was like, right, something's getting beaten around with a hammer, and I'm not going to prison for murder, so it's going to be an inanimate object. So it was me or the machine.
Yeah, you had the same chance of winning the lottery. And you rather win the lottery than have all your shit break down. Right.
And so... Go ahead.
Yeah, in my case, I need to have 2 machines. I still cannot access the NHB Skype. So I have to use my own personal Skype. So what I do is I change from Warhawk to capital letters DRS for Derailment Radio Show NHB. DRS NHB. And of course, no one calls in, so I don't even know why I bother doing it, but I do.
Yeah, that's all of us.
Yeah.
Why do we do this anymore? Well, you can always, try to round up your old co-hosts for a reunion show.
Hi.
And that could be fun.
2 words: fuck and no.
Hi.
I think I lost that sound effect.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey, well, that's fine.
That's wrong.
Hi.
I think I might still have it in the Dropbox. Let me. Oh yeah.
Right.
If you still have the link I sent you, that should still work.
You may have to send it again.
Okay. Well,
just in case.
If anyone wants their own virtual Super E, just follow Johnny Gators on Twitter, because that link is getting tweeted out to the world right now. There we go. So now you could have your very own Super E.
Hi.
That sounds frightening.
Yes.
Yeah, it was fun, and it was what was funny was that I kind of thought that this was going to be a real telethon like in the old days. I was like, okay, and I asked Dune, I was like, okay, where can I find the total amounts? So like in case someone did donate, I'm sure someone did. I don't know. I couldn't tell.
Someone may have, but we sent the donate button to a worthwhile cause to donate to. That button directs to redcross.org actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I would play this. And then I'd say 100 bitcoins.
Yeah, that's what I was just making up numbers. That's all you gotta do.
I was like, what the fuck? What do I say? I couldn't find it. It was stupid me. I asked Dune, and Dune was like,
Yeah, well, Dune and I were playing it straight, but yeah, we were making the whole thing up as we. I think, well, when Damon called in, and I just kept making up different numbers. He was getting. Well, he wasn't getting pissed. He made that very clear to me multiple times. He wasn't getting pissed.
Right.
He was getting not pissed, which is the difference between Damon getting pissed and Damon getting not pissed is that Damon will tell you that he's not pissed. That's pretty much the only difference between Damon pissed, Damon not pissed.
Not pissed. That's kind of like not No Holds Barred Radio, which is going to be the name for my new show with me and Psycho Steve, and I got the intro right here.
Okay. I'm not getting a sound, but
I'm sorry, what?
No, if you were playing an intro, it wasn't coming through.
Oh, never mind. It was the Mike Ellis Welcome to No Holds Barred Radio, but had included Jam and Jerry's Not.
Welcome to
there.
Not Hold. Oh, I love it. That's great.
Right.
That's great.
I'll send it to you one of these days.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great idea. Not No Holds Barred Radio.
Yeah.
That's right up there with the real No Holds Barred Radio.
Yeah.
Which
basically.
Yeah. That was so. That's been 3 shows that contained the words No Holds Barred Radio in the show title that have been
right. Yeah. It's like I miss the old days. You know, it's like when everyone was there and we get a lot of listeners.
Yeah.
It's not like that anymore.
No, and it's it's one of those cases of people move on to other things because like I mean the spirit's still there. I mean last night it was you kind of worried about what is revisiting something and having a good time and having fun or trying to go back in time and failing at it. I mean when you're putting together a reunion show, sometimes you're worried that is this just going to be a miserable failure? Is this just me trying desperately to recapture my youth and failing at it? or is this, going to be a work? Because there are, different views on it. People do reunions all the times, and then there are people that are like, no, man, you can't go back, man. You just, no, it's, yeah. I think, like, John Lennon used to comment about whenever there was talk about a Beatles reunion, like, well, you could still play the old records. And it's like, so, no, but it really worked out really fun. Dark Elf, I hadn't talked to him in a long time, so, a little nervous there. What's he up to? Is he going to be into this? But, he was having a good time. Emily, it was... Oh, and let's see. Skype is telling me there's a problem. I don't know if there really is or not. Can't access your sound card. Can you hear me still? You still there? Hello? Is Warhawk still there? All right. So apparently Skype has decided... You know what? I don't even think that's the right settings for Skype. Skype shouldn't be going... Oh, that's the output. Skype does go out 5.6. All right, so I've still got a microphone going, and I see levels there, but it doesn't look like the speaker settings working. All right, so let me move that there and move that there again. And let's see if that works now. Huh. For some reason... Skype and the 5.6 output on my M audio card have decided, you know what, Warhawk, this is your fault. You talk about all the technical problems you had. You called in. All of a sudden, now I have technical problems again. I kid. Hang on. We're going to try to fix Skype here. Sometimes if I disable and re-enable something, that fixes it. All right. Is Skype working now?
I guess.
Yes, it is.
Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm the gremlin of No Holds Barred Radio. I fuck everything.
Well, actually, this is a common problem. My M audio card every now and then gets pissy at me because I'm throwing different sources and different things. I don't know what bit rate and sample rate Skype uses, and different videos and different files I play use different sample rates. So every now and then the sound card is like, first you're playing 44.1, then you're playing 96, and you're playing 32. And you know what? If you can't make up your damn mind what sample rate you're going to throw at me, I'm not going to change them. I'm just going to freeze up. And generally, that's happened when you open up YouTube and the video starts to load up and it just freezes. Because since the sound can't play, the video's not going to play either. It's not going to just play silent. It's just going to, stall. So I've never had it do that on my Skype output, though. So that was a first, but I recognized the problem. Anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, I see your tweet. Yes, it's my fault, LOL.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. I noticed that Venison is taking an awful... I love it. I'm like, Venison, you there? No answer. All right, we're not doing the show. I'm here. And then, okay, great. 2 minutes to spare. Let's go. I need to reboot. And that was 22 minutes ago. He had to reboot.
At least someone else that has technical problems.
Oh, Venison is a technical problem.
Yeah.
One big technical problem.
Too bad he can't call in and say. I don't know if you heard that.
No, your sounds aren't coming through the whatever.
Okay, I was playing the Super E high.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Too bad he can't. Yeah, he should.
Right.
He should call in and say
hi.
But
I don't know why my sound effects are not coming through.
And
I'm not even going to bother with it right now.
Well, yeah, whatever you're sending, whatever is set as your microphone input in Skype is got your voice and not your computer sounds. So
okay.
I don't know if maybe you got just the direct microphone picked.
Yeah, I think I do.
Okay, yeah, so that's not going to pipe through your computer sounds. But, if Dune called in, he'd probably say,
hello, boys.
But,
Now he'll probably say, "What the f?"
Yeah, I don't have that one,
I,
but he'd say,
Cunt!
yeah. I kind of feel sorry for Doom because not every single time, but almost all the time, he has to fix my shit for me, and it's like I when I think about it, I feel sorry. It's like I should know to do this stuff on my own, but
it's you get the hang of it the more you do it. But
yeah.
Dune actually. So I did wake up at 6 a.m. this morning. We did not do a show with Pedge, but Pedge and I are planning to do a show on Sunday in 2 weeks, 3 to 6 before doing it in Bob. So we'll see how that goes. Stay
The old
tuned.
Derailment Radio time slot, if I remember.
Yeah, and also the old amateur hour time slot. Yeah. After amateur hour went to DEF CON and came back from DEF CON, we did Sundays 3 to 6 until I started doing like Saturdays late night after moving to California. And then after a really bad hangover, I switched to weekdays. But yeah, Sunday 3 to 6. Well, that was because I originally did Saturdays. Between Detox Radio and what was it? The Tioli, Take It or Leave It. And then when I moved to DEF CON after Rico fired me, Vamp stole my time slot.
Ooh, free time slot. I'm taking it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Vamp did his first show on NHB the same day that I got fired from NHB the first time, because that was I still haven't gone back and listened to that show. That was all. What happened was that was Rico's fault, because we were having problems with the chat room, and the problem was Rico. Well, the problem was related to girls, because Rico,
of course.
Yeah, Rico was. I don't know what the deal was between Rico and Mystery Girl, but there was some kind of a friendship there between Rico and Mystery Girl, and he had given Mystery Girl moderator status in the chat room.
Oh,
and Mystery Girl was a big fan of my show. Up until Lisa called in. And Lisa called in and started, doing her little charming, hitting on me type of thing that I immediately responded to. And I mean, Lisa and I had many hours of phone conversations off the air. And I don't mean Damon type of phone conversations. There was no phone bone going on there. We were, talking about our lives and, getting to know each other. Like I grew up here to this, how about you?
Right.
We had, lots of serious conversations about ourselves. And I liked her. She was a bit of a sweetheart and very good on the eyes and, and very charming. And but Mystery Girl did not like her, and the two of them were kind of like catfighting in the chat room. It was just a really wow situation, and I wasn't gonna pick sides. I didn't want to touch that with a 20-foot pole.
You didn't want to break out the wrestling mat and put some Jello pudding in there and take bets on which.
No, because. Go ahead.
Mystery Girl, that's the name I haven't heard in a long time. I haven't talked to her in years.
Yeah, I don't know whatever happened to her, but she was a moderator in the chat room, and her and Lisa were just at each other, and they both had valid points, because Lisa was a bit of a spoiled brat type. But Mystery Girl was not exactly cuddly or friendly either. And there were times that, Lisa just tried to come to the room and not mess with her. And Mystery Girl would be a little passive aggressive, and Lisa might make a comment back. And so, she would, kick her out of the room. But usually it was temporary. things got to be a problem, though, when show hosts started getting banned from the room by Mystery Girl. I think Oi the Drama actually got banned from the room by Mystery Girl at some point, and I know some of the Reckless Radio hosts got banned from the room by Mystery Girl, and it started to become an issue on the staff list. Like, hey, dude, could we do something about Mystery Girl banning all these people? And everyone on the station, every staff member except one, whose names start with R and end it with Eco, agreed that this was a problem, that Mystery Girl was banning people, especially staff members. And whenever the conversation would break out and we go around in circles, why are we going to do about this? Why is she doing this? This is a problem. Hey, she's banning my friend Lisa. Could we get her to stop that? Rico would come in and go, she is the moderator of the channel. I give her full power, and I stand by her decisions. He said something to that effect. And so it was just getting to be a problem.
Right.
But you know, this is all water under the bridge at this point. I mean, chat room. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to have problems with the chat room? That would imply that we have an active chat room.
Right.
So at some point, I'm doing the show, and Rico is giving me a hard time about things while I'm doing the show. You know, like I'm trying to. It's a solo show. None of my hosts are showing up, so I'm having a bad time as it is. I'm trying to do a bit out of trolling this chat room I used to hang out in, and I'm telling the NHB Army, hey, why don't we go in and troll this chat room because, you know, they're being a bunch of dicks to me right now. And Rico's like, don't send them at that chat room. They might come back and attack our site. I'm like, dude, they're a bunch of fucking Sailor Moon fans, and they're not going to bring down NHB.com. Yeah, but whatever. Okay, fine. Don't do it. You know, and so... Then at some point I make a passive-aggressive comment about, you know, gee, it'd be nice if we could get Lisa unbanned from the... And Rico makes something like, she's perma-banned. She doesn't have access to anything. Rico worded it in a way that it sounded like he blocked her IP address from accessing nhbradio.com. And so
Damn.
I think I misunderstood something he said. You know, he used some kind of technical wording that sounded bigger than it really was to me. And I was just in a bad mood, as it was.
Right.
And so I was like, you know, this... And at this point, the word girlfriend had been thrown into the mix in our conversations, you know, because she dumped her high school boyfriend. His week was up. And it was like, well, it's your turn now. Not that that's how she worded it, but she's like, "Yeah, I think I want to be with you," and you know, so I dumped my boyfriend for you. And so at this point, this is like we're kind of dating over the phone. Still no phone bone, because I'm not pushing for that anyway. She was, you know, still 17 years old. I liked her, and I wanted to see where things would go, but I wasn't gonna, you know, start, you know, causing.
Right.
I wasn't going to give her ammunition to use against me if things went sour, you know. So
Right. Yeah, that's the thing about women. It's like this is why I'm single.
Yeah.
Is because I went through that shit before. I was like chasing after this woman that I used to work with years ago, and it was at the time that my dad passed away, and like, for some reason, I was like attracted to her, which is nothing wrong with that. At the time, I thought she was single. She said, "Oh, I'm not seeing anybody, blah, blah, blah. I'm not dating anyone." Bullshit. She had a boyfriend at the time. And I did not know this until we had some sort of get-together. You know what a drum circle is, right?
Yeah, you get around a circle and play drums?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was into that thing.
Kind of a hippie type of thing.
Yeah. So we went to one, and her boyfriend happened to have the same name as her brother. So I thought it was her brother, not her boyfriend, that was going to be there. And I was like, okay.
And then you see them making out, and you're like, gee, they're a close family?
Well, no, they didn't. No, they didn't make out. And I didn't see them make out. But it was like, I'm a little confused here. I don't know what, you know, because she would do things like brush up against me, lean her head on my shoulder, lightly brush her arm against mine, and I'm like,
oh, she's
okay.
a tease. Yeah.
Yeah, she's definite fucking tease.
Yeah.
Now I hope I hope I was gonna say I hope her cancer comes back, but I'm not that type of person.
No. Let's not stoop to their level. But no. Anyway, anyways, like I said, Rico sends me this message. At this point, I'm considering Lisa something of a girlfriend, or at least very much a potential for a girlfriend. And I'm like, you know what? I should, as a good, dutiful boyfriend, stick up for my girlfriend. She's being disrespected by the station here. And, I felt pretty strongly that, this was not cool in my book, and I was going to make a damn statement because, what's more important to me, this little show thing that I've been doing for a few months here, or a potential relationship that could, any possibility of a relationship. I always, I wasn't looking to date. I was looking to find the right person. So, I always treated things like that very seriously, even right from the start. And so I was like, if this is the way you're going to treat Lisa, then I resigned, and I think I in a pissed off, I said, fuck you all, as my last words, and cut off from the stream. And I didn't really mean to the listeners, fuck you all. It was more of a, to Rico, to Mystery Girl, to the people that had, put this situation on me. But it came off as me basically telling off the listeners, fuck you all. And I felt a little badly about the way that went down, which is why I don't want to go back and listen to that recording.
Right.
I was like, okay, well, I don't have a show anymore. That was, but hey, I did internet radio for a few months, and that was a little bit of fun, and I'll go back to my normal non-internet radio life, and that will just be a little like, some day I'll look back and go, yeah, I did internet radio for a few weeks. That's not how that turned out at all.
Right.
And then this also contributed to the way the rest of this went down, because then I told Lisa what had happened, and she got all pissed at me, like, what do you quit your show for me for? Don't quit your show for me. I'm not worth quitting your show for. I'm like, and she wasn't just like, hey, you shouldn't have done that. She was like pissed at me, but she calmed down quickly, and we were okay. We were talking, and all of a sudden something went, the connection died, but the connection died in a very weird way. Like, we were talking, and all of a sudden she was like, oh no, like something had gone wrong. Hands on her face, and it froze, and then it disappeared. And she just disappeared from online, and it's like, well, maybe her connection died or something, okay? But
Right.
I could be a little paranoid at times, because it was like, what went wrong at that moment? And then my phone rang, and I pick up the phone, and it was some guy that was like, hello, who's this? Well, who's this? I don't know. Calling to see who this. So I'm, and mind you, I've been calling Lisa frequently, who is, I'm like in my mid-20s, she's 17 years old. And I mean, family members would pick up the phone and hand the phone over to her, but they're like, who's this older guy on the phone that keeps calling with a, Maine area code? So it was like she was telling me, like her sister was like, who's this older guy you're talking to? So I kind of had the idea that the family was getting a little bit of what's going on over here. And so I was worried, like we was found out, and someone yanked the computer cord out of her computer as she's going, oh no, reverse dial my number to, like, who the hell are you? That's what my mind put together. Now, that was all completely false. But so I was freaking out over that, like, because you got to sit and wait it out to find out if that's what's going on or not when you start putting together a wild theory like that. So my mind is in overdrive, like, oh my God, this Lisa thing could blow up. I might have an angry father of a 17-year-old hunting me down.
Right, you don't want that.
And I lost my show. Oh, and then Video Vamp goes, Gators, this whole thing's stupid. Just come back and finish your show. I just resigned live on the air and said, fuck you to everyone. I don't know that I could just reconnect and pretend that didn't happen, Vamp. No, man, you're blowing it out of So Vamp goes and talks to Rico, and it's like, hey, dude, let's just settle this whole thing. You gators, and just, this is stupid. And Rico goes, yeah, all right. Yeah, I'll talk to him. Yeah, get him in the vent room. I'll talk to him. And Vamp, in his, this was Vamp's drinking days. He's like, all right, Rico's going to talk to Gators, and it's going to be okay. Yeah, so Vamp goes, Rico totally wants to talk to you and smooth this whole thing over. Just come in the ventrilo room and we'll solve this whole thing. I'm like, no, Rico don't want to talk to me. He told me off after I don't feel like coming into a room and being told off by him in voice. Him sending me messages that you're done, you're over is all I want to hear from him. No, man, this has all been misunderstanding. Just come back and come in the ventrilo room. It's all going to be cool. All right, for you, Vamp, been a good friend for the, 4 weeks we've known each other. Okay, Vamp, let's do this. I get in the ventrilo room. Rico immediately mutes my mic.
Oh, shit.
And goes, that stunt you pulled, how dare you do that? You are done for good. You will never do a show on NHB Radio again. Fuck off. Bans me out of the ventrilo room.
Wow.
And I was like, Vamp, what the fuck? That sucked. Why did you make... I didn't know he was going to do that.
It was like, Vamp, drink some more.
It's like, yeah, okay, Vamp, fuck you, man. I told you that was going to happen.
Wow.
So then one of the listeners messages me. Mind you, I'm all pissed off about Rico telling me off, banning me from the ventrilo room. I'm freaking out about the Lisa situation, and now I'm starting to get, pissed off or sad that I lost my show because I was having fun and it was just starting to get on a roll. And then I realized, like, maybe this was... And so the listener messages me and goes, and anyways, we got Venison on the line here. Hello, Venison. And, oh, there it goes. Okay, I think we got Venison.
There it goes.
There we go. So this story's almost over. So then
I've been listening.
So then a listener messages me and goes, hey, Gators, what are you going to do? And I'm like, I don't know. I just got, I'm just pissed off and upset, and I'm just going to sit here and do that. I might have some more, beer in the fridge. And he goes, oh, you should, what about your show? I had a good run. I got to do a whole solid 2 or 3 months of internet radio. That was a nice run. And the guy goes, you should totally go to DEF CON. And I'm like, I don't want to go to DEF CON. I don't, because I didn't care about these station rivalries, but I didn't want to be seen as like a traitor that was just going to jump ship to the rival. I didn't care about the rivalry, but I didn't want people to view me as going to the dark side. And
that was definitely it.
and so, but this guy's like, no, man, I still want to listen to your show. I could set you up with a phone call with Mark the DJ and get you on DEF CON. You'll be, I don't care, no holds barred, DEF CON, whatever. I'm like, you know what? You're a listener. You're telling me you want me to keep doing a show. I was touched by that. I was kind of honored.
Should have gone social crime.
Well, no, actually, this worked out good because this is the whole reason the Dark Elf ended up being instrumental in the show. Was because this happened. So this did happen for a reason. Yeah, but I was touched that someone actually liked listening to my show enough that they actively tried to help get the show continuing. And I was like, well, okay, if there really are listeners that like what I'm doing here that much, I at least owe it to them. And heck, if I do this, at least I've solved one of my problems. Because right now I'm freaking out about what's the deal with Lisa, and have I been found out there, and what's the deal with my show? Have I lost that for good? Well, if I go on to DEF CON, I have a show back, so at least I've solved something. And so next thing I know, I'm on a Skype call with Mark the DJ. I explained to him everything about the chat room and Lisa, a mystery girl, and Mark the DJ's response was, are you guys putting me on? Is this some kind of a prank that you're all pulling on me? And I'm like, no. That's the dumbest thing I have ever heard. Yeah, sure. We can get you set up on a show. We can get you set up there next week. And, we Sundays 3 to 6, what you've been doing, we got that time available for you. You go ahead and, yeah, there we go. And, and then I found out this was my introduction to Damon's personality. Because Damon and I hadn't talked a lot personally at this point. I'd been on the staff list and, called in each other's shows, but Damon and I had never hung out at this point. We weren't close or chummy yet. And so Damon was not even looking at the staff list when all this shit went down. And so Damon comes back and it's like, what the hell just happened? We got Gators listed on DEF CON's site. What happened? And so I explained to Damon what happened. He goes, dude, next time before you go to another station, talk to me. I'm like, dude, Rico made it very clear to me that he was not going to let me back on the station. And he basically said it was he's like, yeah, talk to. And so Damon basically was like, look, if you want to come back to NHB, let me know and maybe we can set something up. And so I took him at his word. I mean, because what Damon meant was, you're on DEF CON, you have fun over there, but if I don't have to inconvenience myself, I'd like to offer the opportunity to come here, but I don't want to actually do anything to make that happen. and so I was like, okay, Damon, that sounds, you know what, Damon, this whole thing's stupid. It's been blown out of proportion. I could talk to Mark the DJ and go, hey, look, thank you so much, but I'm sorry. You can take me off the site now. I worked things out with Damon, and I'll come back to your site. And Damon goes, yeah, but you're already on their site. You already said you're going to do your show over there. How can I take it back over here? I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Well, let's give this time to settle down. And maybe we'll talk about this later on. Well, okay, man, just let me know if you want to come back, though. Well, now that you mention it, yeah, Damon, I would like to come back. Since you're saying I can come back, how about I come back? Look, I'll just go to Mark. Oh, but you're already listed on his page. This went back and forth like 5 times. Yeah, if you want to come back, let me know. Yes, I'd like to come back. Well, you're already over there. Okay, I won't come back. Well, okay, but if you want to come back, let me know. This is classic Damon Fabrio, right? But, yeah, so I did the show on DEF CON, and that was when we started. We didn't have a show after us, because so I could go as late as I wanted to, and that was kind of me, Dark Elf, and Gothard, and Genocide Rob joined us. Would just go late into the evening prank calling Walmarts across the country for some reason. Usually by the time we rolled around hour 4 or hour 5, we're like, what can we do now? Well, we can prank some Walmarts. All right, which state should we prank tonight? And
yeah, prank them all.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, Venison,
Wow.
how you doing, Venison?
Wow. Just wow. I mean, wow.
That was the early days of the amateur hour. You never tuned into any of these shows?
Not really. I think I might have heard one, maybe. I don't know. There's so much going on. And plus, also, I was driving then, so I was out in the world.
You're listening to FM.
Yeah, kind of. What the hell was that noise?
What?
Anyway, I don't know. It sounded like thunder, or it might have just been a car. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, we finally got back on here, but yeah, the computer crashed twice.
Twice?
Twice! First of all, it crashed, when I tried to bring the Skype up. The fuck?
I don't know. But anyways...
I think that, oh wow, I better check. Because that sounded loud.
Anyways, I found the new perfect sponsor for this show. Because... What do I always say about this show? I always say that pants are optional on this show, right? Right, guys? Pants optional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
And well, if you're sitting in front of your computer and you got the webcam on, you basically see from here up, so you can see the shirt. So you got to have a shirt, but pants are optional. For all you know, I might be sitting here without pants right now, and so I was thinking. given that we've often said that pants are optional, I think I found the perfect sponsor for the show, and that would be this one right here. We're going to play their promo right now.
Where are the shirts?
Shirts? Take the escalator, 2.5 flights up, turn right at Junior Boys, turn left by lingerie and luggage, take 3 steps for floor, wall, and window covering.
Hey, I want shirts, just shirts.
Just Shirts, the store when you want just shirts. Come now to Just Shirts and save 30 to 70% on sale top shirts and sweaters during the February clearance sale.
Just Shirts. They're at a mall near you.
So there you go. Our new sponsor, Just Shirts.
Huh.
No pants,
Oh.
just shirts.
That's what it was.
This
Okay, something. Well, sorry, but something weird has been happening here. All day. And now
aliens.
this. I just looked at the radar, and it's like nothing's happening here, all the way out to Ohio. But there's a cold front coming through, severe thunderstorm line, blah blah blah. But that's not until tomorrow morning or something.
I see.
But but sounding explosions. Okay, somebody's shooting off fireworks out here. There's a fireworks display in a town. Town-sponsored fireworks. This fire was so loud, right? The rumble, you hear the rumble of thunder. It was like continuous at one point. I was like, whoa! It sounded scary for a second. Shit.
And that was venison with the weather. Now back to Johnny Gators.
No weather. This is fireworks. Yay!
Now, Dune writes in. What about the Dune party come back of the story? Well, this story I told, I just came back on the telethon. That was another time. That was the time that I was fired over the website Windows Stream fiasco, which is really. On the one hand,
I remember
people would say that I quit over Rico taking down the Windows Stream. That is a very abbreviated version of the story. At this point, there's been so much drama and so many times, but yeah, it was one thing after another, after another, after another, after another, And I don't want to get into it because I still, don't agree. I still don't agree with the way people carried themselves on the station and with management. And, as we all know, Damon has a history of not liking the way things were run on the station, but not doing anything to assist with fixing things. Because, anytime I go, okay, Damon, Team Gators and Damon, we're going to do this thing. We're going to accomplish your goals. We're going to make it happen. What do you want me to do? Well, you should already know what to do by now. Okay. Well, hey, look.
Right.
Great. You know what? Automation, kind of stale, kind of old. Let's fix up automation. Could I get access to the server? Well, you have to talk to Rico about that. Well, Rico said no, but you own the station. Could you talk to Rico? Well, he's the server guy. He, if he doesn't want you on the server, okay, all right. So I can't fix automation then, and we're just running the same old stale shit all the time. Okay, website. Well, Rico runs the website, and so one day I decide I am going to listen to what's actually playing in automation because I hadn't even listened to it for a period of time. So I go grab my phone to play it in the car, and the only stream that works on my phone in this time, this is before iPhones were a thing, the only stream that ever worked on a phone in these days was the Windows Media Stream, which we had for years with no problem. Windows Media Stream, fucking gone. Disappeared, done, finito. Not a discussion on the staff list. No question about this. No warning, no nothing. Just, it's gone. And I was like, what the hell happened to the Windows Stream? We took it down. We don't need it. No one uses it. I use it. It was causing problems on the server. Really? It's been on the server for at least 5 fucking years. How come all of a sudden now it causes it? And I was at the point where I was so pissed off that no one did anything, and whenever I tried to do anything, no one backed me. That I basically was like, you can either put the Windows stream back on the website, or I'm not doing another show. You know, I basically decided I was going on strike until someone fixed one damn thing around here. And that's when... And now, I didn't say I quit. I didn't say I am done with NHB. I didn't say fuck you all. I said I am not doing another show until someone puts the Windows stream back. And Rico removes my access. And Damon didn't back me. And yeah, and so then I was on Wild Bunch. And, you know, which is why I have the official Amateur Hour shirt that says www.amateurhourradio.com, and then under that says www.defconradio.com, which is crossed out, and then under there it says www.nhbradio.com, which is crossed out, and then has written under it www.wildbunchradio.com, and then written under that www.nhbradio.com, because then when Dune and B-Spot helped me come back to NHB Radio, I simulcast it to both.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And
well,
go ahead.
Well, we got a message from YouTube from Lazarus Nazareth. This guy's a cuck. Fuck this.
Okay, thank you for your message. This guy's a what?
C-U-C-K.
C-U-C, cuck? Okay.
Cuck.
Cuck.
I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced.
Cuck.
British term, I think.
Okay. Cuck.
Yeah, their
maybe
way of
like
saying
cuckold.
Okay, well, maybe a man who's a little bitch. Maybe I was talking about the Lisa story when he typed that in. I don't know, whatever.
No, he just typed that in just a minute ago.
Okay, well, no, so anyways, but the thing that really struck me as odd about that whole situation was that was right around the time we were preparing for a telethon with the theme of staff unity. Because we decided we wanted to, demonstrate a unity and closeness among the staff, so we're going to call this a staff unity telethon. And then they fired me like a week before the telethon, which really demonstrated how unified the staff was. The whole staff got on the streams and as a unified staff proceeded to basically shit all over me for 3 hours straight. Actually, that's not true. They shit all over me for an hour. Then they talked about their plans for the telethon for an hour. And then I called in and played match game with them for an hour because since I was no longer staff, I was now eligible to be a contestant in match game.
There you go.
Which just goes to show, and I always said this all along, even when Damon and I hated each other, disagreed with each other, and would get into a shouting match within a number of minutes on the phone, we still liked each other and still had fun doing internet radio together. I mean, they spent an hour dumping all over me. I took notes and was prepared to spend another hour dumping all over them as soon as they stopped going over on Wild Bunch. And I called in and played match. Here's the other thing about that. So they were going to do this whole, we're connecting in and we're going to dump all over Gators and explain why this is all his fault and not our fault. And he is the problem with everything that is wrong with No Holds Barred. It gave them an opportunity to make me the scapegoat. I was what was wrong with the staff list because I was always bitching about everything. I was what was wrong with NHB. I was what was wrong with this whole thing. And we're going to tell everyone like it is. And they accused me of having mental problems. They said we're not going to make any low blows, but they made several comments about me needing diapers. It was, I think that hour is probably the most embarrassing hour in the history of No Holds Barred Radio, for the staff as a whole, not for me. That hour of radio is the reason why, like, Kristen still doesn't want much to do with certain people. because we were sitting there listening to it together. And she was more hurt by it than I was, which was hard to deal with. This is water under the bridge for me. This is just the behind-the-scenes nitty-gritty details. So basically, I was like, well, if you're all going to go and air your grievances about me, it's only fair that I should go on and tell my side of the story in response. Of course, I couldn't do that on NHB Radio, but I was still an active show on Wild Bunch Radio. So I was going to go on and do that. Now, the problem is that Loopy and Forge still had access to the staff list over on Wild Bunch Radio. So they went and ran off to Zoe and claimed to Zoe that I was trying to start a station war between Wild Bunch and No Holds Barred, which was like... and when I say Forge and Loopy,
funny.
I think that was primarily Loopy, and that's part of the reason why I never trusted Loopy again after that. I really,
even though they wanted to start one with DEFCON, God only knows.
That was the big reason I never trusted Loopy again, because I was Addie was feeding me stuff from the staff list, and Loopy was all like, I emailed Zoe and let her know that the Gators is trying to start a station war with us. And it's like, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to do a NHB sucks, Wild Bunch, yay. I was trying to defend myself against all the crap they were saying about me on their site. It had nothing to do with the streams or the stations. Zoe came to me and said, all right, so what's going on here? And I explained to Zoe, look, I was fired over this thing. I'm just trying. And Zoe's like, hey, it's cool. You go ahead. Let me just give you a word of advice, just so that no one can claim that this is a station war. Don't say No Holds Barred and don't say Wild Bunch Radio. Just say, the names of the people and you, and just leave the station names out of it. And so I actually connect to the show and say that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to say No Holds Barred. And then I pause. And the first thing that came out of my mouth was, so I was over on No Holds Barred Radio, and, and that's when I realized this is going to be a very difficult hour of radio.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Not good. Not good.
But Dune helped me out.
Speaking of Dune, he wants me to ask you to send him the link to Hangouts.
I just got the message.
Okay.
Well, I remember. Here's the thing: Dune's condition on me coming back to No Holds Barred Radio was I was supposed to read some Republican propaganda that I never read. So he would not word that way, but that's how I'm wording it. Oh,
right.
And I was supposed to assign some kind of a contract with the No Holds Barred staff, similar to the contract with America or something like that, or the contract on America, or something like that. I don't know. And hopefully that flew under the radar right there. But all right, so I sent the link to Dune, so he might jump in. But I believe the thing that was funny about that whole thing, the funniest part of that was that. Wait. Do you want to?
I wanted you to read what?
A book.
I think I need to be refreshed on this.
A book. You wanted me to read a book.
Really?
Dr. Seuss.
It had the word tyranny in the title.
Oh, you would love that book.
Oh, is
Mark,
it Dr. Seuss and Green Eggs and
it's
Tyranny?
Mark Levin and Warhawk, you're on the bubble.
I was making a joke, dude. I don't even know what the book is. I don't even read.
No, yes,
would it help if I said Obama sucks?
It's a Mark Levin book.
Rediscovering Americanism and the Tyranny of Progressivism?
No.
That's very...
Liberty and Tyranny, a Conservative Manifesto.
Liberty and Tyranny. That's
okay. There were two books with tyranny in the title by it. This does not sound like my kind of book, Dune.
Well, I could let you have the one I have of how to vote for Democrats, you could have that one.
I know how to vote for Democrats. I do that every election.
That's what's funny. I go all that trouble to help you, and you can't even read a book. You're missing. I don't think you're getting everybody the whole taste of it. That's the way I operate when it comes to breaking ice with people. Is I demand shit and I throw some stupid shit in there to catch people off guard and have them go ha 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 ha, and then it smooths it out.
The thing is, Dune, is that I was never officially told this. The only reason I know about that is because that was a message you sent to the staff list while I wasn't on it that Addie forwarded to me.
Mm-hmm.
So you never actually told me that I had to read this book as a condition. It was something you suggested as a condition that was never put on me.
You know the nice thing about it though, that you got to see that was never meant for your eyes. So you should never ever question me when it comes to where's Dune's heart.
Well, here's the thing. That is why I knew I could reach out to you as an insider to help me. And so because keep in mind, I reached out to you and say, hey, dude, anything you can do to kind of help smooth over this situation. And you're like, no, I got it. And, you know, about 3 or 4 months later, I
didn't remember how long it was. Who keeps track?
But, well, B-Spot also helped with that, I believe. You helped, and B-Spot helped me out. But the funny thing about this was before I got fired that time, which I still say I was fired. Rico took away my access. I did not ask for my access to be taken away. I just said I wasn't going to do shows. That says fired to me.
Well, I was going to say that's sort of like the guy in Office Space that was getting paid wasn't supposed to be there, and they said, well, they fixed the glitch. He was just working without getting paid, so it's the same. I guess they fixed the glitch.
That's what I've been doing here for years, dude.
Yes, I know. We both tell me we're both waiting for that W-2 form. No, yeah, I guess I'm there. God, that was so long ago. I'm glad you remember. I'm glad you remember all this stuff because because you have to remember this history kind of things.
This impacted me quite. I had some strong feelings at that time. This was cutting into my personal life. There was a lot of drama that was happening, a very real drama that was going on here, and you were just sitting on the sidelines watching it all.
Well, no, I was just actually most of that stuff I didn't pay any attention to because I would refuse to get involved in it.
Right, exactly. Remember, I said in one of my emails that one of my drunken emails, that was the time that Andrew was made general manager of the station.
Yeah.
And then he decided that, well, because Forge and Loopy have 2 shows and we want to make room for more shows, one of them's got to give up one of their shows or something like that. And so then I'm in New Jersey, at my parents' house. The phone rings. My sister goes, hey, John, there's someone in Florida on the phone for you. I don't know how he got my parents' number.
Wow, I got to give him credit for that. I guess. Well, the name probably. I guess.
Yeah. He found a guitars in New Jersey. There's multiple guitars. He might have talked to my grandmother.
He might have talked to several. He might have. Yeah, there might have been several hang up calls from your.
Well, actually, he might have gotten that number from the 877 because I did at least once forward the 877 number.
Oh, you know what? That would probably be exactly how it was because there was lots of people I got their numbers that way.
I never thought of that until now. I always thought you looked me up in the phone book somehow.
Yep, no, because I was going to say we rarely ever. Usually we just would rename the name.
Right.
Gator's this, Gator's that, Dune this, because my one was like Dune main number, Dune secondary number.
Right.
You're probably right.
So he probably found the listing for Gator's Mansion in
yes.
there.
Yes.
And so he calls me up and he's like, Yo, dude, I just want to let you know, because Andrew had appointed me as like some kind of assistant general manager or some manager of something, which was a bullshit title that gave me no power or authority or access to do anything with. And so Forge is like, yo, Gators, man, I'm out. Me and Loopy are quitting. Just want to let you know. Oh, okay. Thank you for what's going on. No, man, we're cool. We're out. We don't want to deal with it anymore. okay. What could I do? Yes. So, hey, if you want to come back, let me know, or let Andrew know. He's the one that runs things. I'm not doing anything here.
Yeah, that's nice to throw it that way, isn't it?
Well, I didn't say it like that. I just didn't know what to say. It kind of caught me by surprise that Forge was going out of his way to call me to tell me he quits when I'm just the assistant manager that doesn't really do anything. It's like, I think you need to talk to Andrew there. But and so then next thing I know, the station is being shut down. For that was when they shut down the station to regroup, and also it was an opportunity to do the server, which was in need of.
I'd forgotten about that. You're right.
Right, so I sent a drunken email from my parents' basement that was like, "Okay, guys, I'm out too. I got too much going on right now. I don't got time for this drama. But you all should watch Dune. He's doing this right."
Good dude.
Yeah. Because you never got involved in this. You were just there with your bucket of popcorn, hit the delete button.
I wouldn't. That's right. You know what? It served me well, Johnny.
It did.
It served me well. And when I got involved, I get involved pretty good. I mean, it was one of those things. I picked my battles, and if there was one there, I would jump in and make things known. But I think also that's probably what made more people listen, is I wasn't, the crazy opinion guy, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, I know. Well, not to mention I was quite a bit older than everybody else too, so that probably helped.
Yeah.
I'd already been there, done that.
It's like
no, that doesn't always help.
It's like, Damon, you're not gonna fire Dune. Like the guy, he's like an authority figure. I mean, come on. You can't fire the Dune. That was because you were on the other side of the stick cam battle, but you didn't fight it. You vocally, you just because I remember it was like, anyone that uses stick cam is going to be fired, and when I talked to you about it, you were like, dude, I'm just going to use it. I'm going to do my thing, and if the password stops working, oh well.
Well, that's the way you have to do it sometimes. That's the way it was. What's to argue about?
Yeah. Well, what's to argue about is when they turned off the password.
Well, I guess I'd have worried about it then, but
yeah. But well,
then we'd have had a completely different conversation going right now.
And this is a point I bring up many times. Damon kept on shitting on Stickcam. Me and Damon just kept going back and forth over this. Just let us use Stickcam. Let's do our thing. We need to all be doing the same thing across the board. If one of us is using Stickcam, one of us is using that. Dude, we're all connecting to the same streams. We're all using the same messengers. So some of us use Stickcam. Who fucking cares?
Well, I think what happened is, it's much like when you and I were talking about somebody else who's doing a show. It's hard to convince certain people certain things if they don't like it.
Right.
And then they start seeing that, wait, holy crap, there really are a lot of people on Stickcam that are listening to us. And there was a bunch. Yeah. I mean you would easily have the same amount of people on Stickcam as you had listening to streams. And I'm not talking today when it's like 10 and 10. We're talking, 50 and 50.
Yeah.
And then when they'd feature you, it could go to 4, 5, 600.
And Sam has somehow had us flagged to be regularly featured.
Yes, all we had to do was just go on the air. That's all we had to do was just go on the. It was sweet. It was sweet.
For a period of time, we just automatically got featured just for connecting.
Well, I've sent you those pictures, haven't I? Well, actually, you've got them on your computer.
Yeah.
I've got, and listen, I've said this before, but I shit you not, for people out there, I'll have to post these again, but I have pictures because Stickcam used to keep track of the rankings or whatever. Right. And we would routinely outrank Leo Laporte. That was not unheard of. And I mean, to think about, NHB radio being that high up on the list was pretty amazing.
And Damon's attitude towards it was, great, we're generating traffic for someone else's site. This is the wrong way to do it. He like I said, he finally succumbed to it because Rico actually started incorporating the counts into the NHB thing. Not only the real reason he warmed up to it was because Andrew refused to give it up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that was what happened, because I was actually, as an assistant manager, giving the task of delivering an ultimatum to Addie that either you guys need to stop using Stickcam or your guys will be fired, which I was quite sore at being put in that position because I didn't agree with this rule. I didn't want to follow this rule. I wasn't going to go against this rule. I just got to the point where I was like, oh, fuck you. I don't fucking care anymore. Let me do my fucking show.
They just didn't do it Dune's way.
And so then I got to go tell Addie that we're going to ban him if he does this. And Addie, and I knew Addie. I knew that Addie was not going to take an ultimatum and was not going to be told what to do. And basically he was going to go and do it anyways and get fired. So I was basically telling Addie, dude, you're going to get fired. And I'm the one that's been sent to tell you this. And I'm kind of friends with Addie, and I don't agree with this rule. So it really put me in a very awkward, unpleasant situation. So then I go back to Damon. I'm like, okay, I gave the ultimatum to Addie. He's pretty much said he's going to do it anyways. You're going to have to fire him. Oh, no, that's okay. Because, well, Andrew came back and told me that he likes to use Stickcam, and I wasn't going to make him stop using it.
Oh, by the way, Johnny.
Yes?
This segment of the show is brought to you by Fredericktown Yamaha.
Where the fun begins.
Right. Every time you say Addie, I'm going to do that from now on.
Fredericktown Yamaha, where the fun... And Just Shirts, the store that just sells shirts.
You know, I've never been to that store. Not the Just Shirts store, the Fredericktown Yamaha.
Where the fun begins. But
where the shirts begin.
Where the shirts begin. Just Shirts, where the shirts begin.
Let me see if I can make this.
No, but so anyways, that kind of, my thought on that is I've been fighting with you for months about wanting to do Stickcam, and you're like, no. Andrew says once, I want to use Stickcam, okay.
Are you getting that?
That made me feel like chopped liver. Yeah, I'm getting that.
Now, can you guys see that well enough?
It's more than two.
Nope.
The day. Look at that's total daily viewers. That's a day. One day.
Yeah, but what's the electoral votes on that? Sorry, dude, I couldn't resist.
Took me a while to figure that out.
Oh, no, don't leave. Don't leave, dude. I'm not trying to make a political statement. It was a funny line that came into my head. If it reversed the other way, I would have still made the joke. I would have still made it. Oh, come on, Dune. Come back.
Nice going, Sheldon.
Right.
Yeah.
We're going to play nice now?
Yeah. Are you seriously offended by that line?
So sensitive.
Now be careful. We don't want Addie to start tweeting about that. Anyways.
No, I just do like I normally do. If I don't want to deal with it, bye. See, unlike most people, I know how to. If I don't like something, I just don't deal with it. Unlike some people who don't like something, so you want to outlaw it, that kind of thing. That's the difference. That's the difference.
I'm not trying to outlaw anything.
So anyway, there you go. There's my Stickcam buzz. We were ahead of the curve. And I think we should have stayed there. We really should have, because I mean, the media video. Had we stayed involved and kept on going, who knows what could have happened?
Well, we still connected to Stickcam, but at some point we stopped getting featured. The site changed in the last years.
Actually, sadly enough, it was never the same after the beans and Franks on the air. That was really where it really went downhill.
Well, we were still getting featured even after that, but
not as much.
Not as much. There was a period of time I noticed that I think it was still automatically featured, because when Damon was talking about ending it, I was pointing out, hey, look we're generating traffic. We automatically get featured when we connect in. Are you all aware of this? This is because then they were like, well, if you want to use Stickam, you have to create your own Stickam account. We're getting rid of the shared Stickam account because we don't want an official station Stickam account. I'm like, dude, that account gets featured automatically.
Yes.
Every time you connect.
I made that account, by the way. Dune made that account.
Dune made that account.
That's right. That was my purchase of Bitcoin back then, was to make NHB radio for Stickam.
And much like someday will happen, it eventually tanked.
Yes. Well, you know, it's sad. It's sad. I mean, we wrote it out until Stickam went away.
Yeah.
And, you know, it just goes to show to look at the numbers of that, you know, especially Warhawks out there. And you're there. Look, I mean, right now when on iVlog, when you get featured, the biggest feature I've ever seen anybody ever get is about 60 people. I don't think I've ever seen any more than 60 people on there before.
And we had over 20, about basically between us and Leo Laporte, that's 40,000 people. Yeah.
Well, now keep in mind a lot of that, and so people understand how that works. You're featured on the front screen, and a lot of people, that's where they land, and then they go from there to somewhere else.
Right. But
the point is your face was on the screen for that amount of time.
Right.
Or at least NHB was for that amount of time.
Now, in the later days of Stickam, because it used to be a bit that I would do every week, was who's being featured on Stickam, because it turned into basically the list of live channels would be there.
Yes.
And which one would show up on top when you load the page was kind of random, because you could refresh and it would change which one of the 5 or 6 live channels would show up. And usually there was a guy playing tunes in a foreign country.
Well, I was going to say there was also lots of people that ended up, funny enough, on a page called Sticky Drama, if you remember that.
Drama.
There was a page called Sticky Drama that was actually created and did nothing but deal with the Stickam prima donnas that used to get into trouble. Like there was a dude named John Hawk. Do you remember that name?
No.
He was a big Stickam guy. Actually, on several of those pictures I have, there's lots of pictures of him because he was a big Stickam guy, and he did some pretty unscrupulous things that got caught on camera, and but anytime girls would show parts, they would be on that page.
Well, that was part of the negative part of Stickam, and part of the because Damon did have some valid points about Stickam. Like a lot of time, take it or leave it, Andrew would be like, oh, yo, Haas, hey, who we got on the cam right there? Or shows would start doing visual things that didn't work audio only on the stream.
I mean,
not very good description.
Right. And then the big one was the way Paul was treating Stickam on NHB radio, and that was pissing off Damon. So it was like his show was getting hijacked by Stickam because his co-host was there, because he was always check out the girls. And if you got too many guys taking the viewer cams, he would close and reopen the page to boot them all out to give the girls an opportunity to grab the viewer cams.
And your point is?
Yeah. This was disruptive to the show.
Oh, okay. Well, I understand it, though.
Yeah, but Damon was trying to do a show, and Paul's like, we're just going to reset the room here. Oh, hey, who do we got? And then he'd start, getting bitchy towards the guys. Hey, come on, guys. Stop grabbing the Stickam, the viewer cams. Leave them for the girls, And so, I understood. You know who else was anti-Stickam? Emily used to give me some feedback. She didn't like the way I was carrying on Stickam by doing visual aspects of the show. And I would try to give good descriptions and make sure that, because in my mind, Stickam...
Oh, look at my nipples!
Stickam was never essential. Because I didn't even try to archive or preserve the video part of the show. I was only capturing the audio. So there are some shows that the visual elements is gone forever, and but Emily felt like I was getting too distracted by that at times. So yeah, there was a flip side there.
Like I said, I still like it though.
Oh yeah. Ultimately, it should have fallen to the show, and you know what? Don't force that. Well, you don't like stick cam, so we're going to outlaw it. Because someone doesn't use it right, no one can use it.
Exactly. Well, and that's.
Yeah. No, did you remember that girl that we went there and did the feature thing?
Well, I remember there was a teen girl in her bedroom with an acoustic guitar that sometimes she would just start falling asleep in front of the camera in her bed.
Yeah. She would fall, the sleeping girl was featured and had a shitload of, viewers.
Yeah, oh yeah, she was getting more viewers than me every week. She had a YouTube channel where she would play songs that she wrote.
But the thing was, somebody's sleeping got more viewers than you.
Yeah, and I would sit here and comment on this, like, this girl's just here sleeping. And they got like 50 viewers, we got like, 20. What the heck's going on here?
Yeah, sadly enough, I'm looking at the Wayback Machine, and most of the pictures are all gone.
No, that's
from Sticky Drum. But that's what it was, though. There was lots of stuff like that on there. But
the funny story I want to get in here about the time I was fired that you helped me out. Before that happened, remember Addie and Gabe, were they fired or did they leave? What I know is
they left.
They left, but they didn't leave on exactly good terms. Surprise, surprise. And so I had to do a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for?
Networking.
Yeah, a bit of networking, a bit of go-between, a bit of diplomacy to get Damon to be okay with the idea of bringing Addie and Gabe back. Because Addie and Gabe were interested in coming back. Damon was kind of like, fuck them. I let too many shows on this station that aren't really friends with us. And I'm like, yeah, but they have their fans. They've established show. Gabe's funny.
Do it for Gabe. There you go.
And Addie's got the basement and the equipment, and Gabe is funny, and so I managed to get Addie and Gabe back on the streams, and then shortly after that was when I got fired. So like the first week,
because you got them back on the streams.
No, because of the whole Windows stream thing.
I just had a flashback of Fast Times at Ridgemont High, where the guy gets the job at the burger place, and then gets fired. And I hope you had a good piss, Howard, or whatever it was. You got him on, and then get.
But the first week I was fired, Addie and Gabe come on the air, and I call them up, and I'm like, "Hey guys, could you help get me back on?" We had a good laugh over that.
Oh man!
And I remember they were a little bit like, well, we can't get fired now because we don't have Gators to help get us back on again next time.
But isn't it amazing? I mean, when you said that there was a point where they had to get rid of shows to make room for other shows.
Yeah.
I mean that's.
And I don't even remember what show Andrew was trying to make room for, because I don't think they ever came on board.
That's what's kind of fun to go, the Wayback Machine, if you ever go back there and look at the NHB pages, because to look at some of the different shows, how many shows there were just amazing.
Yeah, well, I've grabbed all the old artwork that I could from the Wayback Machine, so I just to review some, I'm gonna bring this up. Somewhere I have a folder of this stuff. Let me.
I don't ever remember every time slot filled.
Oh yes, there was Monday through Sunday. Now, when you say every time slot, we never worried about we didn't do anything during the day for obvious reasons. There was no reason to.
Right.
Rye had a day show for a while, but from 8 p.m. Eastern, every single night was full. I mean I
remember that.
Yeah,
I even remember
there was live shows every night. Sometimes there was 2 shows. Like with Johnny did the show before me, and then I came on, and so Sunday was a really full day.
Yeah. Once all the weekdays filled up, that's when because for the longest time in the early days there weren't weekend shows. I was a weekend show because that was where there was time available. And to be honest, I liked that. I'm
trying to think. Sloan was a Friday person, wasn't he?
Right, he was Friday.
Okay, and Saturday was. Remember who did Saturdays? Well, you did. Yeah, I guess. I don't remember.
Well, anyways, all right. So I have old artwork here that I'm going to open up here and share. and I'll have to like zoom this or something. All right, so let's see screen. Let me screen share here. See, this is the type of thing that doesn't work too well on the audio stream, but that's okay because
but you're going to read what it says, so
yeah. So we're going to. Of course, this logo is still valid. The ADHD radio logo, which the thing about this logo is I was like, why are they moving a fridge?
I guess it could be a fridge.
Vamp showed me this logo when he first made it, and I said, well, why are the guys moving a fridge? And he said, no, it's a keg. And I'm like, but it's a box. It's not shaped like a keg. I'm like, look, if you could round the corners a little bit more or something, make it look more like a keg, that would be better. But yeah, it's a good logo. And he's like, yeah, I'll work on that. And I'm so glad he asked me for my feedback.
You know, it would be really fun if we could find some artists now that could actually render this really well. That would be kind of neat to have somebody do that.
My favorite was someone made a wallpaper.
If we could find somebody who knew how to do rendering, Warhawk, that might be able to take a logo like this, Warhawk, and make it look really cool in high def, Warhawk.
Yeah, because you can see how pixelated this is when I blow it up. Well, the thing I remember about this logo was that there was a fan that made a lot of wallpapers for us, and he made a ADHD radio wallpaper that was basically a six-pack.
Carlos and something.
Carlos. And he made
his wife. Him and his wife.
And it was a six-pack with nice, water droplets on it and everything with this logo on the can. But the other thing I liked was I think someone made a fan wallpaper of, like, the video vamp holding a can, doing some kind of funky pose or kick or something like that. I don't know if I'll ever find that image out there again. It disappeared along with the picture of Dune's ass to the and it's just gone for good. Here we got the original Amateur Hour logo. This was the first one that I threw together. And notice this is pixelated because I made it to the size that we would have these on the website at those time, which was just kind of a small little square.
Yeah, well, they were icons back then. Yeah.
Right. So when I went to DEF CON, I had to make a bigger logo. That's why I made a new logo, because DEF CON showed bigger logos, and so I made a better one. And notice that the two girls from the Sparks album cover are just kind of hidden in here. They blend. I made them black and white so that they're just kind of like hidden. So it's like a not noticed thing. It was like an Easter egg type of thing. But then when I made the new logo, it's like, no, I'm going to leave them color. I want them to pop out there. This is the You Could Be Here spot.
That's right. If we had an open slot, that's where that would be.
Yeah. The Detox Radio with Oi the Drama.
Yep.
And this is one of Take It or Leave It's older logos.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we know this one.
I think we know that one.
Yeah, that one's never been updated.
Nope, that one's not going to get updated.
Horseshoes and hand grenades, of course. I was sad when we lost that show.
Yeah, because actually I tried to follow Bill in his new endeavors, and I just couldn't do it. It wasn't the same.
He's fixing up a house on a YouTube channel now.
I mean, when he was doing the show at that one place, and it was just.
But it was okay when Lisa showed up, but yeah.
Well, she never showed up when he was doing his show after he left here.
She showed up at least once.
No, I don't think.
I think the one week they brought her there, and it was cool. That was like the 1 week I listened. Because also the thing I mentioned was that because I think Addie and Gabe took their time slot when they left. And
I was gonna say it was more of a tech show, is what it was.
Right, he moved into a tech direction at that science center, and so Addie and Gabe took their time slot, and then they were going to continue doing the show on their own thing. And Addie was conflicted about it, and I said, "Hey, me and Vamp did the same thing. You could call their show during your show and both check in with each other." And so they did that. And I remember Addie and Gabe were talking about, wow, listen to them. They sound happy doing their show. Remember when we used to be happy doing this show?
Yes.
We got the No Holds Barred radio show. Reckless Radio.
Yep, which we told the story about that.
I didn't tell that story.
Not
today.
No, I know. We told it on the Dune and Bob show.
Yeah.
Reckless Radio, aka Tom Likas.
Well, the funny thing about that is after I left for DEF CON Radio, Reckless Dave kept calling me every few days, going like, "Dude, I think we're gonna get fired. Damon's gonna fire." I'm like, "Damon's not gonna fire you." He thought he was convinced that Damon was this tyrant that was gonna fire them, and that he needed to be one step ahead of him, and he was so paranoid about that. And it's like, and that's why they did the whole move to DEF CON thing. Rice-A-Roni University. Classic,
they were. I was going to say, and they did a good show. That's one of the people we were talking about who we'd like to contact, and that was one of them. We'd like to try to find.
Every now and then I get a message from Rye on Facebook.
Yeah. I'm not friends with Rye anymore on Facebook, unfortunately. But
oh, come on, dude.
That may change someday. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Shadows of Doubt.
Yep.
Yeah. And sound check. Now,
sound check. That was a good 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah. I think they lasted longer than that.
Yeah, they weren't around that long, but that was fun. It was really fun. That was JJ,
Jay,
Kevin,
Goldfingers, and Kevin.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think they were pretty. They were starting to get pretty well established. They were like the number 2 show. Damon was the flagship, and they were the up and coming number 2 show, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And
they were fun to listen to because they were really quick on the computer.
Yeah.
When it came for sounds and stuff like that.
And then J Squared was busy with school, and Damon wanted to keep the show going, and Damon offered to fill in as a third host for them temporarily, and Kevin was up for it, and Goldfingers wasn't. And he was like, "No, man, it's not the same." Just kind of Zane McFate with the think tank he called the Stink Tank.
Yep. God, I thought I used to be friends with Zane. I don't know if Zane is still a friend of mine or not.
Huh.
I swear he and I used to be friends on Facebook. I don't know.
I never had him on Facebook. I had him on AOL Instant Messenger.
Maybe that's what it was.
Because he
was a really nice guy.
Well, he also he was also good friends with Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
We get the Annihilation Principle, the show that I never liked. I'm sure Greg was a nice guy.
Yep.
But I just remember he would come on like late night. He was on late. And he was on later than the other shows.
I think he did Saturdays.
No, he didn't. He never did Saturday. He did like Thursday at like 11 or something.
I'm gonna have
to
go look now because I'm not.
Because what always pissed me off about his show, and this is totally petty and nothing against him. I'm sure his show was fine. I never stuck around because I would get home from work. I was working at Walmart when I first moved to Maine, and I'd get home from working the closing shift at Walmart. And I would, throw on the computer, put some automation on, check some email, do a few things before I went to bed. And I would like to listen to automation. This was before automation grew stale to me. And so on Thursdays, I go sit there, put on automation, be kind of getting in the groove, checking my emails. All of a sudden, automation be interrupted, and his show would start. And I remember one week I try to listen to it, and not every live show is going to be a gold mine of comedy. And I remember one week he actually was on the phone with his kid, asking the kid if the kid did his or her homework, and it was being good for the mother and things like that. And I'm like, why am I listening to this? That's when I decided I got to find something else to listen to on Thursdays.
Okay. When your no, it was Wednesday 11 p.m.
Wednesday.
So he came on after Damon.
Huh. I don't know why it was he interrupted.
Now this was in 08, so you must not have been. You weren't around.
No. I mean, I'm talking about when I was a listener. The Devil's Advocate with John and Liz.
Thursdays.
Yeah.
10 o'clock.
Yeah, I remember that show. They were, of course. We got the goddamn show. There's shit in my microwave, which I've borrowed this sign for my new show logo, kind of an homage to Sloan. Now, I don't know, did Sloan...
Oh, that Joe.
Did Sloan create this, or did Rico create this?
No, there used to be a website that did this.
Oh no, yeah, there is church sign generator, because I use the same thing to create my current show logo, where it just says the name of the show on the side. But was this Sloan's idea? Did Sloan come up with this?
I couldn't tell you.
Or was this made for Sloan?
Well, no, you got to keep in mind too that a lot of this stuff is carryover from back when Rye used to be the web person.
Yeah, because I don't know. Heck, I don't even know if everyone created their own logo. I know I had to create a logo. Well, I wanted to create a logo. I was excited about it.
I don't know who made mine. I have no idea.
So you didn't make that?
No, I did not make that.
See, I came on thinking everyone made their own logo, and I was like,
well,
I'm make a logo.
Some did, but not everybody.
Oh, I always thought you made that logo. Oh,
nope.
Wow. Now I know Rico made this one, and this is the Susan show. And which was Liam and Beanpole, that started as a college show that they did, and decided they would name the show after the first person that called in, and the first person who called the show was named Susan, so they just called it the Susan Show, and which was not ever on NHV radio because they're on college radio when that happened, so it was like this inside joke that. But I remember Rico explaining he came up with this logo because in his mind, when he heard the Susan show, he pictured that Susan looked like some old lady. So he did a like Google image search for Susan old lady or something like that, and this was the first picture that came up.
Yeah, like here's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 2 Thursdays, Friday. Rice Roney was on Saturday. That's who's on Saturdays.
Yeah. Now, I wonder if this person ever knows that she's been featured as a show logo.
If it would be fun to find that picture without those words on it.
By any chance, does your name happen to be Susan?
Well, the thing is now it can be searched pretty easy.
Yeah. Then we got another Take It or Leave It logo.
Which they still use.
The last production.
Yep.
With Loopy and V-Forge. And we're back at the beginning. Now, of course, we also have archived some of the... let me stop sharing. Is there anything on my screen that shouldn't... Oh, there's just my contact list for Skype.
Contact list. Yeah.
We'll just go... man. Now, Venison, did you ever have show logos for... is there a show logo for Venison Stew?
I was going to say, if you got a wild bunch
there was one that was almost made. Well,
the only logo I ever saw with Venison was the one you made.
The one I made?
Oh.
Yeah, where you're leaning up next against him.
Oh, the Suburban Homeboys logo.
Oh, that.
That's the only one.
No, someone actually made one where there was, a pair of antlers sitting out of a kettle over a hearth. But it never got used.
That's too bad. Now we got banners. Now I think Andrew made a lot of these banners, and then some of them are older that I don't even know where they came from. But I think this was an Andrew creation for ADHD Radio with Vamp, with his favorite pastime, smoking a cigarette.
Now who's the other guy?
I don't know. I don't know who that is, but he's holding the gun.
Yeah,
Julie approves.
I don't remember who he was.
Yeah.
God, Vamp. What a change, man.
Now, was this your creation?
I made that.
So you were into the Kansas license plate thing.
Yep, I made that one.
Yeah. And here's another one. Did you make this one as well?
No, I think there's a good. I think Carlos and I think it's Carlos and Isabel.
Yes.
I think I've got that right. They did a lot of these. They did most of mine.
I see.
And this was one of them.
We got Detox Radio. It's kind of got some type of wall scribble or something going on there.
Yeah.
Take It or Leave It. And there's a classic No Holds Barred Radio banner right here. Leave your morals at the door. And another No Holds Barred Radio one with a nice American flag there. And yeah, we're that big. No Holds Barred Radio. Yeah, no egos here.
Now this is the best one.
This is Dune's favorite right here.
This is you know where this came from?
Pedge made this.
Pedge made this. Yeah, absolutely. Pedge made that. And I tell you what, I still almost piss my pants every time I see this.
It's a no holds barred radio banner with a picture of Ray Charles holding his microphone the wrong way.
The wrong way, yes.
Nice.
It's
and it says, we do it right.
We do it right, yes.
Yeah, Pedge made that one.
Pedge, yeah. It could be funny every now and then. Another NHB radio banner.
Because these rotated on the site. Matter of fact, if you go to the Wayback Machine, you can still click on them. They still rotate.
This is what it's like to go to class. Rice-A-Roni University. I don't know. Were your classes anything like Rice-A-Roni University?
No.
I think
there was no blank plugs in my class.
No. You didn't have a classmate named Skittles?
No.
No. Okay. No. I remember Sloan talking about Skittles.
A lot, yeah. It's uncomfortable.
Here's a sound check banner.
Mm-hmm.
A nice looking speaker there. I wouldn't mind a pair of those speakers. Those look like some nice speakers. Sound check with Jay, Goldfingers, and
if
Kevin.
He can wake, because Jay used to sleep all the time.
If Jay squared
that's where DJ Sleepy came from.
DJ Sleepy.
Yep.
And Stink Tank Radio. See, there is funny in Ohio other than Drew Carey.
I don't remember that one.
This banner I remember because when I was working at the teller line at the bank up in Maine, people were when I started doing the show and I visited some of my former coworkers at the teller line because I had got promoted into the IT department. But when I went back to the branch nearby me to do some banking, I was talking about, I'm doing this internet radio show. Oh, where are you doing it? We'd like to listen to it. I'm like, it's on nhbradio.com. And so one of my former coworkers, her name was Debbie, she goes to the computer, loads up www.nhbradio.com, and wouldn't you know it, this is the banner that by chance loaded up on top of the page.
I know you don't like Greg, but he was really ahead of his time.
Yeah,
he really was.
Well, yeah, he was good at stealing other people's bits and making them his own.
Yes.
Which is what I've stolen from him, because the PTR radio would do the ray-to-ray temperature check, but Greg didn't have a ray-to-ray, but he had a girlfriend, who had a vagina, as most girlfriends do.
How convenient!
And he wanted an excuse to poke something in there. During the show, he would take vaginal temperature checks. So this banner says home of the vaginal temperature check, the annihilation principle.
Even today, that's edgy.
Yes, this comes up on the page. I had to explain this to my former coworker Debbie. That's someone else's show. That's not my. I don't do that on my show. I got Devil's Advocate banner here. Fridays 10 to midnight.
John and Liz. Great pair.
So many questions.
Yeah.
We're back at the beginning. No, this isn't the beginning. This is the same style as that beginning. This is Take It or Leave It. Another Take It or Leave It. Susan show. 11 to 2 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, he did the during the day thing.
I noticed that this doesn't say what day of the week it's on though.
I don't remember what it was.
It was on Saturdays because they would go on before me, but there was an hour break between them and me. And we don't get up that early either. Now, how come my banner never showed up in there? I must have saved my banner somewhere else. Because they made a train wreck banner for me. Because I remember I made that when I was
it Wild Bunch Radio? RADIO? Is that what it was?
For what?
Or just Wild Bunch.
WildBunchRadio.com.
WildBunchRadio.com. Let's see. 2007 would have been probably when they were at their peak. But I think the page pretty much looked the same.
Well, I think up until the end, they still said that I was doing dollar bin specials.
Yeah. So let's see. We got Sunday night. The Easy Help You and More show, Soylent Radio.
So, anyways,
Monday Comic Rise.
While you're looking for other great artwork to share, I wanted to talk more about this commercial I was playing earlier. I said, I said we should have a new sponsor on our show, because sometimes all you want is just a shirt. And I just want to explain why I shared this commercial. You ever have one of these weird, bizarre things that happens that probably has a logical explanation, but you... Oh, what was that sound? Oh, did we lose Venison?
Yeah, I think he did.
All right, well, we still got Dune on the line.
Yep.
So I swear this is how this happened. And when you think back in this, you figure it couldn't have happened that way. Clearly, there's an easy, obvious, logical explanation for this, being that it didn't happen the way I described it. But here's the way I remember, and I feel like it happened at the time. I had this weird dream one night about a commercial for a store that only sells shirts called Just Shirts. And I mean, it was a vivid, detailed dream. Like I remember opening up my eyes, waking up and going, what the heck was that? And I go down for breakfast, and Mom's like, oh, how'd you sleep? Oh, I slept good. I had a weird dream of a TV commercial for a store called Just Shirts. and my mom goes, well, there really is a store called Just Shirts that we see commercials on TV sometimes. Maybe you saw that and dreamed that. And I'm like, nah, I never saw that commercial. And so I go watch some TV, and this commercial comes on. Everything down to the last detail is exactly the same in this commercial as I dreamed. And I swear I did not see this commercial on TV before I dreamed it. I thought for sure there was some kind of weird, unexplained, like supernatural phenomenon going on, that this TV commercial was beamed into my head through some kind of unnatural force or something. I swear that was how it happened. And that's where I got Venison's picture from.
If you could just channel your good, into something like that. Yeah, this is Wild Bunch Radio from the Wayback Machine.
So he does have a logo. It's just a picture.
But you know the funny thing about this though, it's not the Wayback Machine. This is current right now.
Oh,
on wildbunchradio.com.
It's still up. Now, if you go to the show page, oh man, well they did finally update me to have an Amateur Hour logo.
So there's your people.
That would be before I went to Suburban Homeboys, probably.
I don't know who all the rest of these people... Well, that's Zoe, obviously.
Yeah.
But, it doesn't do anything anymore. I mean, let's see. Here was the schedule back then.
All right. And it says that I'm on, like, Saturday nights with the Amateur Hour, I think. And let's zoom in and read the description for that.
Okay. Right there.
The Amateur Hour is a talk comedy with music show hosted by Johnny Gators. Gothard and V Forge co-hosts along with a various assortment of guests that stop by, including Johnny's girlfriend Barefoot Lurker, previous full-time co-host Dark Elf, Video Vamp ADHD Radio, and Damon No Holds Barred. See, this is before Venison started showing up on my show, and before Mars and Neo showed up, but after Emily left, and when Dark Elf wasn't showing her up as often.
11 p.m. That's the same time I used to come on.
That was a awkward time of the show.
Yeah, well, it's too bad. But yeah, I mean, webcams. I mean, come on, are you kidding me?
No, but I swear I dreamed this commercial before I saw it, and obviously you hear me saying this, and you're like, well, clearly you must have saw it before you had dreamed it. But it was. Have you ever had anything that surreal happen to you that felt so surreal? I mean, because it really felt surreal to see this on TV. That's like that's the thing I just saw.
Well, I think the reason why I think you might have fallen asleep at one time saw it, because I do remember one of my dreams. I remember very vividly, and I was much younger, but I remember being somewhere that kind of looked like a small stage, like you might have in, say, a small school where they have a stage where people sing or whatever.
Right.
And I remember music playing. And every once in a while, a guy would walk out from the back of the stage up to the microphone and announce the next song, and then he'd turn and walk away. And I was sleeping with the radio on because I woke up with the radio on. And I just thought that was so cool that my mind interpreted you know, the DJ walking onto the stage, talking to the microphone, turning around and walking away.
I think I've had something similar to that happen to me before, but I'm struggling to come up with the specific. But I have had outside sounds influence my dreams, but that was not the case here because I didn't have a TV or radio in my room. There wasn't a TV within earshot.
You're just psychic, Johnny. Let's just throw it out there.
It was for years I believed that I was psychic somehow and this happened, but now when I look back I'm like, well, I must have seen it, but it just to, you know, and it wasn't just the audio, because like I said, I was floored at the details in the background in the store that's going on the screen. That's like, I saw that in the dream too. I saw all these little
you don't know why things sometimes affect you like it was. You might, who knows, it might have been one of your drunken stupors. You fell asleep and saw it and thought I had to be dreaming that because it was so stupid. There's no way there's a real commercial like that. That is funny though.
But and I just want to I'm going to
it's like the left porium or whatever.
I'm going to go ahead and throw this up on my screen and share screen again, so you because I actually found a YouTube source of a person that just posted a bunch of 80s commercials in the New York area, and it included on here. And this is yesterday I found this, and it's the first time I've seen it in probably 20 years. And it's not the same as I remembered it, but it's clearly the same commercial because there are some details that I clearly remember. And it's such a silly commercial. It's such a silly idea for a store that sells just shirts.
Where are the shirts?
Shirts? Take the escalator, 2.5 flights up, turn right at Junior Boys, turn left by lingerie and luggage, take 3 steps for floor, wall, and window covering.
Hey, I want shirts, just shirts.
Just Shirts, the store when you want just shirts. Come now to Just Shirts and save 30 to 70% on sale top shirts and
those
sweaters
pastels
during the February clearance sale.
Just shirts. They're at a mall near you.
The mystery of it.
So yeah, that I specifically remembered every detail, the background of that. It was the weirdest thing ever.
There we
go. That's cool. That's cool.
Venison, did you ever go shopping at Just Shirts? The store that sells Just Shirts?
No. Now, apparently this thing died right around the time when things got interesting.
Aw.
Okay? Now, the Just Shirts thing, I swear to God,
You dreamed it too?
Watching this, I was watching this on, back in stored video files. They're going to be, burned as DVD later. And, I got to label them first. But I was sitting there watching it and watching Mad TV's 20th anniversary show, which was hysterical. But in there, they did a commercial for Just Shirts. I swear they did that.
They did a mock commercial for Just Shirts?
I'm not sure. I think they might have. But, because I couldn't think of anything else, that would make sense.
It is a silly idea for a store. The store that sells just shirts, no pants.
Well, not really. You think of it now, they got places where you go and get, shirts printed, and that's all they sell is shirts.
Well, but they sell printed shirts. There's a reason why that's the only thing they sell, because that's what they're specializing in. And they might print up hats and other things like that too.
Stop and think about this. This actually is kind of unique. That's a good idea, because you wouldn't really normally need a dressing room for just shirts, which is nice. So I mean, it kind of cuts out some of that stuff.
Sometimes you don't know how the shirt's going to lie on you, though. I mean, especially when
I guess it depends on the shirt.
Yeah, it depends on the.
I just guess how big I think it needs to be, then add one to it.
I mean, if you're going to be a clothes store, you may as well have shirts and pants, and I mean, it's just such an odd thing to specialize in only shirts. I
always get the extra large shirt anyway. This way it'll fit whatever. And you can use it, later on in case you want to go pantsless, but still have something come down.
Well, they had they had a shirt. They had a place called Just Jeans. That was the name of the place here in town.
Now I couldn't find any information about this store though. The only thing I found was that commercial on YouTube, so I've confirmed that it does really exist. I didn't make the whole thing up.
Yeah, because you do that all the time.
Because that would have been weird if I couldn't find it. I would have been like, maybe I did dream it and never did see it on TV, and I'm just remembering it wrong. But no, it really happened. But I can't find any information online about the store. I don't think it lasted long. So there's no record of it, like, what the premise was or who started this or how widespread it was. It was probably regional.
It's a great commercial, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
you have to wonder if that lady was married and that poor guy that was married to her. And hopefully she wasn't like that in real life.
I just want shirts. Yeah. She is funny. Her voice, because I remember that in the commercial. That was like in the dream. Her like angry grr type of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I interpret it as an angry grr, but I don't know what it really was. It's just weird.
Where are the shirts?
Take the escalator, 2.5 flights up, turn right at Junior Boys, turn left by lingerie and luggage, take 3 steps for floor, wall, and window covering.
Hey, I want shirts.
That reminds me of that reminds me of a phone call this last week. I had to make travel arrangements, which normally we have a person that does that for our company. And when they're out on vacation, you'll get a notice back say, call this particular travel agency and they'll set your stuff up. And when I called, I really thought I was in trouble because the person picked up I had to wait in the queue.
Right. And
when the person picked up the phone, I heard, thank you for calling, blah, 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 blah. Can I help you? And I was like, oh my God, she just got off a call that was really, really bad. And she had to take a sigh before she spoke to me.
That's not a good sign.
So I was on my absolute best behavior. And when I was done, I even said, thank you for being patient with me. And she's,
sorry.
Wow. So I kind of know at least she didn't go or whatever.
Yeah. She didn't go.
Yeah.
Travel arrangements.
Yeah. Hey, Johnny.
Hey, what?
I'm not sure that this is the correct company. Just Shirts Limited company is dissolved.
Okay. Oh, I guess if you throw the limited at the end of it, maybe they Google. All right, let's see. Yeah, because the sign on the store in the shot says Just Shirts Ltd.
Now there is a website called JustWhiteShirts.com, where apparently I guess they just sell white shirts.
Just white shirts, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there is.
Okay. Sounds suspicious.
Oh my God! I will hit the big red X so.
It's funny.
Oh no, they sell men's suits too.
Today I did I had that little mini washing machine that I'm doing laundry in, and I've realized that I've run into a problem, and the problem is if I do a load of wash with my work socks, which are black, I get little black fuzzies sticking to all my clothes. So now I do a separate load of wash that is just black clothes.
And now he says nothing.
I was thinking.
Wow.
But I have a reason. I have a reason to separate the black clothes out from the rest of the color clothes.
Because you're a racist?
No, because I don't want black fuzzies on all my clothes. If I go to work with these little bits of fuzzies, it looks like I'm in a
What's
swamp.
Addie's Twitter? I forgot. I'm gonna ask him.
It's at Gators is still blocking me.
Oh, okay.
That's Addie's Twitter.
Okay.
And I'm waiting for him to remind me again, and I'm still he pissed me off, and so I think the last time he pissed me off on Twitter, I called him a snowflake and blocked him.
I think you did this time, yes.
Yeah, yes. And well, actually, no, I blocked him, and then I tweeted, let's see how long before the snowflake starts complaining about me blocking him.
Oh, there we go.
And that evening, Addie messages me and goes, oh my God, you must have been really angry. You blocked Dune too? And it took me a while to figure that out.
Yeah, he's so funny.
I wasn't amused.
God.
He's an ass.
Oh, yeah. And Zoe, believe it or not, you're not the only one to have dreams like that either. It happens a lot it happens to a lot of people. It happened to me.
Maybe Addie and I can trade pictures someday.
So it happened to you, Venison. You dreamed something before it happened, as some sort of a psychic.
Yes.
Okay.
Very vivid.
I got breaking news.
11 years old, I dreamed I was driving on Highway 101 in California. I have no idea, but several years later, while I was in the Navy, going to school in California, we drove out to Oakland Airport, to go home for a vacation. Got on Highway 101. Then something said to me, this looks familiar. We took the exit and went down the exact same avenue. Saw the exact same factory buildings on the side, the same railroad cars, and the same traffic in front of me, and the light turned red. I freaked. The guy almost threw me out of the car.
What, are you trying to mimic me and Addie on Twitter or something?
No, I'd never do that.
Anyways, yeah.
Sometimes you have to play with your hamster.
I don't.
He said hand, I think.
That's a true story, though. It was quite vivid.
It was, yeah. It's quite surreal when something like that happens. But anyways, we do try to be educational here. I know we've all learned a whole lot of things. And so, Dune, what have you learned this week?
Well, I think I've learned that I've taught Johnny a valuable lesson, that Dune does know where the big red X is, even if the big red X is not a big red X, it's just a big red circle.
Okay.
Which is Safari, so.
And what about you, Warhawk?
There's no trees. There's no trees and no big red X here.
I just learned that Bitcoin has dropped to $3,900.
Great.
Okay. And
but I also
go ahead.
Never mind.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, for real, I learned that there was a company that was called Just Shirts.
All right. And Venison, what have you learned?
They can't find a commercial. Well, two things actually. One, I learned that gators might have been involved in something that was very, very not very moral, during the day and even nowadays, considering age. But that's water under the bridge. And also, Dune comes up with yes, he actually does have a big heart, and it confuses me sometimes because here he is, this wonderful person who's always been nice to me. He even bought me pizza, which I enjoyed thoroughly. But at the same token, we have vehemently different ideas in politics. But we're still
don't maybe get the hamsters out.
Oh.
Because I will.
Still, I appreciate that. That's okay. I still remember that song, Hamster Love. Fry 'em up.
And I've learned, what have I learned? I've learned that Dune wants to send me books. And I've learned that that dream that I had about a shirt commercial, I didn't make that up, that it still exists. And it's still as weird as I remembered. Cool. And wow, it's...
And I'm proud that you went on the air tonight, by the way. I just want to tell you that. Because most people would have skipped it.
Well, certainly the listeners do every week.
But up.
Oh man, but anyways, I was actually going to cover this commercial topic yesterday on the reunion show. It was on the unofficial white sheet, and it just never... It was the thing that Emily and I was talking about before the show, because the thing Emily noticed about the commercial was they talk about how they sell only shirts, and then they talk about how they have a sale on shirts and sweaters. And she goes, wait a minute, they just said sweaters. I thought they only sell shirts. So that was a little nitpick we had with that.
Sounds good.
That's technically sweaters.
Oh God, count. Work. Why do we have to go to work tomorrow?
Well, at least it's only 4 days.
Yeah.
Shit, I can't find it.
Not for me, because I get one day at work here locally, then I'm off to Dallas for a week. So I'll be through the weekend. So probably Sunday you may have to. Well, we'll see what time Sunday I get off work. I might be able to do the show. We'll see.
All right, we'll see what.
Because I'll be working Saturday and Sunday too. So.
All right. Well, hey, thank you for listening, everyone, and I hope everyone enjoyed their telethon. I think I just destroyed the telethon automation, so
you did. Thank you. You're welcome.
You're welcome. All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Oh, Pedge and I are doing a show in 2 weeks. Sunday 3 to 6, if he remembers, and if I remember. So yeah, not next Sunday, but the Sunday after, 3 to 6, before the Dude and Bob show. It's I forget the name of the show, but it's something that Pedge is excited about. Well, I'm excited about it too. Stay tuned to Twitter.
I forgot. I was supposed to be calling it his show now and then.
Yeah.
You know, since I got a connection again. Before I couldn't because of that lousy Wi-Fi connection.
Anyways, thank you for listening. Good night.
Now backing up file.